We emigrated from our country because we had a burning desire to change the destiny of our families, to change our destinies. We have to understand something. Immigrating isn't just about crossing borders. It's about building a new life. But let's be real. Immigrating and living abroad, it's tough. You're far from home, far from your family, far from your food, far from your culture. You entirely putting yourself in a new environment where you have to learn everything from scratch, the language, the culture, making new friends, new colleagues, and so on and so forth. When we move abroad, we come to a new country, we come with big dreams, only to be met with struggles, challenges every single day. Today I want to talk about the life of immigrants abroad, how challenging it is to be an immigrant in a foreign land, where you have to adapt yourself, where you have to integrate yourself in order to be an exemplary immigrant, in order to build for yourself a good career, a prosperous life, and a happy life, not only for you, but for your family back home. Most immigrants, when we come abroad, we come with dreams. The degree of our happiness, the degree of our success will determine our family's success back home. That's undeniable. We all know that. And we all have that in mind. We all want to succeed. And most immigrants, when they move abroad, they have a goal. A goal is to make a lot of money, because where you come from, money is a scarce resource. But we believe that moving abroad will be the solution to our problems. We believe that moving abroad, we will have enough money to have a happy life and to be a blessing to our families back home. But when we come here, we meet challenges. Because it's a new system. You have to adapt yourself. And most of the time, we don't know how to navigate the system in order to strive financially. I myself, I'm struggling, and I've been asking myself, what is the secret to financial stability? What are these people making? What are they doing in order to succeed financially? Or these people, other immigrants. What are they doing, for instance? For the past 5 years, since I left my country, Cameroon, I've been reading books. Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad, The Richest Man in Babylon. I have been reading books on personal development and financial literacy. And recently I've been asking myself the question, why is my life not changing financially speaking? And I have realized there's a reason for that. I have not implemented what I read in those books. And I am tired of being tired. I am sick and tired of being tired. And I've realized something. The worst prison on earth is to have the talent and intelligence to do something, but lacking the courage to go out there and do it. I think that's why I've not implemented all these things I've read. I've been following them on social media, trying to understand the path, the formula they use, trying to understand the pathway they actually took in order to be successful financially. But I myself, I did not see any effect on myself except on my mindset. And now I've decided I'm tired of being tired. It's time to be tired of being tired. I'm taking my responsibilities to change my life, financially speaking. On Friday, I came back from work. I moved into the room. It was cold. It was freezing cold. The first thing I thought about was to set the heater to a certain temperature in order for the room temperature to be convenient enough for me not to feel cold again. Guess what? There's a great correlation between setting the temperature in your room or in your apartment and your life apparently. And that's what I've discovered. I hope you're tracking. Listen to this. If we can decide to set the room temperature to a certain degree in order to be comfortable enough to be in that room, it means that we as humans, we also have the ability to set our life, to set our mind to a certain degree in order to change our life in every aspect, be it financially, socially speaking, and you name it. I left my country 5 years ago. I went to Turkey and I spent almost 5 years in Turkey. I was a student back then and I had to own my own business. I was a student and at the same time I had to start my own business in order to survive financially. It was tough. Basically, I was a sourcing agent. I went out, looked for manufacturers who were manufacturing construction materials, industrial machineries, and I went out there, created a YouTube channel, and I conveyed the message. I conveyed the product so I can find clients via YouTube. And that's how I got clients via YouTube in order to make it in Turkey. Life was so difficult that I decided to relocate again to a new country. And that's how I found myself in Germany, in a new land. I have to learn the language, and I must learn the language, and I will learn the language. I will integrate myself. I will make friends, and I've been making friends, by the way. But I've realized something. As an immigrant in a foreign land, with a family back home waiting for you to help them financially, it's almost impossible. I mean it, it's almost impossible to rely on a single source of income. It's impossible. You cannot just rely on a single stream of income. I don't know how you make it as an immigrant in a foreign country and you just rely on your salary alone. How do you make it? How do you... I cannot still comprehend that because it's tough. Let's be real. It's really tough. Especially when you don't come from a rich family, where you have siblings that you have to support. You have to support your family, you have to support your parents, your siblings, your cousins, and you name it. As someone coming from the global south, you know what I'm talking about if you're coming from the global south. Alright? I hope you're tracking. Recently, I've been pondering upon my life, upon myself, and asking myself the question, why is it that I'm still struggling financially? I'm living from paycheck to paycheck. And I have a couple of friends who are also immigrants like me, and sometimes they call me and they complain about this life, about this lifestyle. And we all think about a solution, but we can't find a solution. And for the past years, I thought reading books was a solution to changing my life. Of course it is. But what I didn't do is that I did not take action. I did not implement what I read in those books. Those books are phenomenal, inspiring. All right? And I've come to the conclusion that in order to make it in the diaspora as an immigrant, you need, it's an imperative, you need multiple income streams. You need to focus on income generating assets. You must do that. It's a must. You must have multiple streams of income if you want to survive, if you want to help your family back home, if you want to have a good life over here abroad. As immigrants, many of us face the pressure to help our families back home, whether they are here with us or whether they're back home. But we work long hours every single day just to notice that it's not still enough. You work too much. And unfortunately, what you make is not still enough to sustain a good life and to help your family back home. And you start asking yourself questions. What am I supposed to do? What am I going to do? That's why it's an imperative. We must focus our minds as immigrants. We must focus our minds on income generating assets. Believe me, income generating assets are very, very important, because if you have multiple streams of income, it gives you enough time that you can spend with your family, with your loved ones, and do other things in your life other than just working every single day to rely on a single paycheck. Believe me, you can still keep your job. But make sure that you create income generating assets. And you must be asking yourself the question, what about income generating assets? What are income generating assets? How do I even get started? What do I do? And most of the time when we think of assets, when we hear the word asset, the first thing that comes to our mind is real estate. Let's be real. Not everyone has the financial capability to invest in real estate, because it takes money and credibility. And most of the time to invest in that, you need a loan from the bank. And how do you even invest in real estate when you don't have a good credit? That's a good question. And how do you start? If you cannot invest in real estate? What other assets are there that you can actually, produce that will generate the money even when you're sleeping? And I thought about it because I've been observing rich people on social media, on the platforms, and I've been reading about them. I've been making profound research on these people. And I've noticed something they have in common. Most financially successful people, they all write books. You hear me right? They all write books. And they all sell books. Hear me out. You as an immigrant or as an individual person, you probably have skills, experiences, knowledge that people out there might not have. And you can actually put that in a book. An income generating asset can be a book. You can write a book today and it will generate income for the upcoming years, over and over again. You can write a book today, you can focus for 2 months, write a book and publish a book, and work on the marketing side of it. Sell the book. People will buy the book. We all have unique stories. We all have unique experiences in our lives. Let's say, for instance, you are a divorced mom, all right? You are a divorced mom with 2 kids. And the divorce caused a tremendous trauma in your life. And you don't want people or other women to go through what you've been through. What you can do is that you can write a book about your story and give advice on how to overcome such situations in life when it happens, and how to even avoid such situations. That's a unique story. As an immigrant, you can write a book about immigration, about your challenges that you're facing in your host country. That's a unique story. Just find a topic in your life, a unique experience, a unique skill that you have, and you think that people might relate to what you have, to what you know. Write it down in a book and publish the book. Writing a book can be a good asset. Trust me, because most successful people I have studied, they all write books and they all sell books. And if writing a book is not your thing, you can write an ebook. Just an ebook and publish online. People are going to buy. And the second thing I've noticed about financially successful people is that They all sell something. They are mostly on social media now, and they are all selling something. So if you want to be financially stable enough, because relying on your salary alone might be a tremendous risk, you can start selling something. Selling something is what is going to make you free. Trust me, we must start selling things. And I've understood that lately. I'm not selling anything. And the reason why most immigrants struggle financially is because they are the only income producing assets. If you are your only income producing asset, there's a high probability that you are going to struggle financially. You have to focus all your energy on producing or creating income generating assets. You must do it. Find something that you can invest your energy, your time in, or money in order for that asset to produce income every single month, for you to have something to rely on other than your salary alone. I hope you're tracking. Now, the third point that I want to talk about is the importance of budgeting. Budgeting is very important, but most people don't realize the importance of budgeting. Budgeting can reshape your life. It can reshape your mind. There's a quote that goes as follows: anything that is not measured cannot be managed. I'm going to say that again. Anything that is not measured cannot be managed. In other words, if you don't measure your money, if you don't measure your income, if you don't measure your expenses, you will not be able to manage your financial life appropriately. And you will always be wondering, where did my money go? Well, guess what? It's because you are not budgeting, you are not tracking your expenses. You don't allocate your money to specific things that can actually make you change your life. All right? And I hope you're tracking. So you have to build a budget. You have to make a budget. You have to plan your income, your expenses every month. For instance, for the past 3 months, on my PC, I have created an Excel sheet where I track all my expenses, 50 cents, even if 50 cents, I put it down. I have an income column, expense column, debt column, investment column. And I have it in front of me every single day. I look at it in order to know where my money is going exactly. And that has changed my life. And I have taken the decision to take my financial life seriously by thinking on how to create income generating assets. Secondly, by budgeting my life. I have to budget. If I allocate 100 euros for pleasure or for eating outside, I will not go beyond that budget. That's an example I'm just taking. If I allocate, for instance, 50 euros to invest in something, I will not go beyond that amount of money. And I hope you're tracking. So if, for instance, you budget your finances and you allocate 100 euros for partying and stuff, the moment you reach 100 euros, you stop partying, you stop eating outside. If a friend invites you to go outside, you simply say, no, my budget is not to that level. Sorry. And we should learn to say no to certain things. That's a problem with most immigrants. You come to a new land, you make friends, and these friends sometimes they don't take their life seriously, and they pull you into a certain lifestyle that you cannot afford, and then you finally find yourself struggling financially. How are you going to make it as an immigrant While you have a family, your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, your parents waiting for you back home every single month to send them money. It's a very, very tough situation that you must take into consideration. Trust me. The fourth thing I'd like to talk about is the purpose of cash flow. You should align your burning desire to create an income generating asset with a purpose, right? You cannot just be working just to pay bills, pay rent, and eat, and that's it. Most of us immigrants, we work, we earn money because we have a family to feed back home. That's a purpose, all right? And some of us have great purposes, like changing the life of an entire community somewhere around the world or back in your home country, and thriving and striving to have a better life, for not just for your life but for your own kids that you're going to make as well, because you will get married eventually if you're not yet married. So it's very important to align your financial goals with a purpose, because when times get hard, your purpose will fuel your journey. Your purpose will be the fuel that will push you forward towards your goals. And always remember why you started something, why you started writing that book. Always remember why you started that side hustle. It's very important, because you cannot make it abroad as an immigrant without a side hustle. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but it's very important as an immigrant to have a side hustle if you're having a stable job, because you cannot just rely on a single paycheck every single month. Meanwhile, you have a family back home waiting for you. It's almost impossible. It's very tough, trust me. So you should focus all your time and energy on how to create an income generating asset. Please, let's do it together. We can do it together, because we have to find ways in order to thrive financially. And we are going to make it. Absolutely. And the last thing I want to talk about is cash perpetuation, building a legacy. We all know as immigrants, one of the reasons why we even want to build something tangible is not just for us. It's mainly for our kids, all right? The ultimate goal is to build cash perpetuation. It's like planting a tree. You take good care of it, it grows and start bearing fruits for years. That's exactly what happens for cash perpetuation. So you make sure when you're writing that book, you think about the future. You are leaving a legacy to your children. Your children can start from something, and they can be proud of you for investing in something like that. Okay, that's going to help generations to come in the future. So make sure when you are investing in that income generating asset, you think about your kids. You think about your kids, you think about your offspring, you think about the future generation that will benefit from your asset that you are creating today, that you are building today, is very, very, very important. And lastly, our journey, your journey, or my journey as an immigrant comes with various struggles and challenges, and equally comes with tremendous opportunities. And we have to pay close attention to everything that happens to us, be it a struggle or an opportunity. You make sure you pay attention to what happens. And we should also take into consideration that by diversifying our income, we are creating income generating assets. We are building wealth. We are creating wealth that's going to break the cycle of struggle in your life, and will eventually build lasting success. Believe me, if you succeed financially in the diaspora, you are automatically going to be a blessing to your family that is here with you and your family that's left back home. I was tired of being tired, and that's why I made this video. And I want to focus on something. I want to find a formula that works for me that I can share with other people as well, with other immigrants abroad. All right. And if this story, if this video resonates with your life, I want you to share your experience in the comment section. If you're an immigrant as well who has actually succeeded to find an income producing asset that can be helpful to other immigrants around the globe, please share your experiences or and your stories in the comment section. And please don't forget to follow, like, and share this video. Okay, let's build a community together, a community of global immigrants that strive together and build a successful life, not only for themselves, but for their families back home. And to conclude, we did not come this far just to come this far. Let's connect, let's build and thrive together successfully. Take care of yourself. May God bless you. Ciao.